Bonjour à tous, bienvenue à Paris avec moi et Annie. J'espère que vous allez bien. Thank you for inviting us to read a story to all of the children online. We've had lots of fun, haven't we, listening to all the other stories that the staff have posted. We particularly liked the lockdown limericks, very good. Aujourd'hui, je vais lire une histoire, and l'histoire s'appelle The Detective Dog. We've got our own little detective dog here too with us, so we hope you enjoy the story. There was once a dog with a keen sense of smell. She was known far and wide as Detective Dog Now. Sniff, 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 time after time. Now the detective solved crime after crime. Who threw the hazelnuts down from the trees? Who took the honey away from the bees? Who did the poo on the new gravel path? And how did the spider get into the bath? Sniff, sniff, sniff. With a wag of her tail, now the detective was hot on the trail. Now shared her house with a person called Peter, a very nice child, though he could have been a bit neater. And 6-year-old Peter was one of those boys who kept on mislaying his clothes and all his toys. Sniff, 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 nose to the ground. These are the things the detective dog found. The bus in the bowl, the book in the bed, the sock in the sofa, the shoe in the shed, the tumble-down teddy, the bounce-away ball. Now the detective discovered them all. Now did detection from Tuesday till Sunday, but did something different each Monday. She found Peter's bag and she tracked down her lead, then set off for school where she heard the children read. The children loved reading their stories to Now, and Now loved to listen and also to smell. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Mixed in the air were plasticine custard and newly washed hair, the crusts in the bins and the coats on the hooks. But the best smell of all was the smell of new books. Books about dinosaurs, books about knights, books about planets and meteorites, books about princes who turned into frogs, books about dragons and books about dogs. But then came a day when all was not well. Now sniffed the air and she smelled the wrong smell. Into the classroom the two of them hurried and found Mr. Jones looking terribly worried. He tugged at his hair and he let out a sigh. Peter looked around and he started to cry. Sniff, sniff, sniff. What was going on? The books, cried out Peter. The books, they've all gone. Now gave out a growl when she heard the bad news, but then started sniffing and searching for clues. Sniff, sniff, sniff. On the bookshelf, a cap. The thief must have dropped it, the terrible chap. Now, sniffed the cap. Then she tugged on the lead, and woof, she was off at astonishing speed. Everyone followed Detective Dog Now. She stopped at the traffic lights. What could she smell? Sniff, sniff, sniff. Haddock and hay, pizza and penguins, and further away the smell of the thief, and, how very exciting, thousands of pages, all covered in writing. Then woof, they were off with no time to stop. Past the farm and the zoo and the takeaway shop, they raced through a field where the rabbits smelled good, then over a golf course and into a wood. They thrashed through the undergrowth, leafy and dense, till they came to a gate in an old wooden fence. Then Nell started growling and pricked up an ear. She barked, and the bark meant, the thief is here. They flung the gate open and Peter cried, look! For there sat a man with a nose and a book. There were many more books poking out of a sack, and the children yelled, those are our books! Give them back. Sniff, sniff, sniff. The book thief looked sad. I'm sorry, he sniffled. I know I've been bad. Stealing is wrong, but I just meant to borrow. I was planning to give all the books back tomorrow. To borrow? To borrow? Now pricked up an ear. She barked, and the bark meant, I have an idea. Then woof, she was off, and away they all sped, including the book thief, who told them, "I'm Ted." Sniff, sniff, sniff. They raced through the wood and over the field where the rabbits smelled good. They panted and puffed past the takeaway shop, the zoo and the farmyard, with never a stop, except to retrieve Peter's scarf and his ball, which someone had thoughtfully placed on a wall, till they came to a building with doors open wide. And what did they see when they all went inside? Thousands of books from floor to the ceiling. The books gave the thief the most heavenly feeling. He gazed in amazement. "Where am I?" he said. And Peter replied, "In the library, Ted. You can join if you want to. There isn't a fee, and then you can have lots of books out for free." So Ted has a lovely new library card, and he sits reading books in his little backyard. And when it's a Monday, Detective Dog Now visits the school with the wonderful smell. Sniff, sniff, sniff. With a faraway look, she smells and she listens to book after book. Books about dinosaurs, books about knights, books about planets and meteorites.